Good morning. Today, I got some weird stuff going on behind me here. I don't like my backlight, but that's okay. I'll stay over here so we don't have that horrible backlight. I'll stay here. So, today is, Thursday, August 10th, 2017. The time is 1:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good morning. And for all of you that are new to me, which is everybody on YouTube, because I'm a Facebook guy, but now I'm becoming a YouTube guy because YouTube. So the rule is it remains morning until I'm done with my coffee. So I was up a little late last night, so good morning, Sheridan. Sheridan is my daughter, everybody. Say hi to my daughter. Don't stalk my daughter. I will kill you dead. And that's a figure of speech. Don't worry about it. I have a frontal lobe, so we don't have to worry about all that silliness. So it's, the drama. I went to get a cigarette, and guess what? There's none. So that means I have to go in there, leave you alone, and then come back with my cigarettes. How is the picture? Okay? Even though I got that light behind me, it's kind of, is that a little annoying? Let me turn on the overhead light and see if that kind of squashes it a little. That might be a little better, yeah? Maybe. Live. My daughter gave me this shirt because I'm always live. And it keeps me alive as well. Hey, look. It's a microphone, everybody. Hello. I'm not using that microphone, but it looks cool. It's just here in my studio, so it's a bit blurry. Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? How about now? I don't know why it's blurry. That's strange. It looks like I'm and she sells unique. Yeah. That's right, she does. Hi, Barbara. Good morning. And again, for you people that are just joining or you don't know, it's morning time until I finish my coffee. That's the rule here at the Morning Hat. So I'm actually going to do a topic. I'm going to get my cigarettes so you guys entertain each other for 10 seconds. Go. Okay. I know it hasn't been 10 seconds, so turn off the light by the sink. It's the outside, I think, that is creating. Well, that's a little better. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate it. Good call. I thought it was the light from the window that was causing me headaches, but not so much. It was definitely that light. Good call. Good call, Barbara. Okay, so today my topic is, why do I live in an RV? It is much better. Thank you, Barbara. I really appreciate it. And by the way, people that are new to me, I smoke butts a lot, and no, I'm not quitting. Shameless self-promo. You never have to worry about that, Sheridan. You can always self-promo on my vlog. And actually, I'm not vlogging right now. It will become a vlog later when I'm done, but right now I'm live. So yeah, there's that. And Barbara is smoking with me. Right on. We have smoking buddies. See, we're building a community here. Okay, so the topic today, why I live in an RV. Let me start by saying no, I don't have to live in an RV. Let me start by saying no, I'm not homeless. I live in an RV because I chose to live in an RV. Now, one of the things that I found out in my life, I was living in a big house. I had everything you can imagine. I had all the toys. At one point I had 5 motorcycles, a boat, very expensive pickup truck. I had all the toys you could think of. I've had a lot of stuff. And I think I come to the conclusion that all that stuff was defining who I was, at least to me and to the people around me. You know, And I think I have in my intro video, the intro to who I am. I talk about my cars and my houses and stuff like that. So what I need to do is explain the difference between all that stuff and your success, showing your success to people, and actually defining truly who you are as a human being. So when we have all this stuff and we say, hey, I got this nice thing, I get the best of this, I get the best of that, everybody around you goes, person's very successful. That's all that they think. They don't know as much about you as you would think. So it defines you. It becomes who you are living in, you know, a big house, or it defines how you have to live your life. So I was convinced, and I was working for a pretty large company, and I got convinced by a guy that I worked with to try full-time RVing, because it's always been a dream of mine to, you know, retire, jump in an RV with my wife, which I don't have one. That part didn't work out yet. And I say yet because I've been married twice. I guess maybe I won't do it again. I don't know what I'll do. It doesn't even matter. But I would like to travel with the woman of my dreams, of course, because you get the opportunity to do whatever you want when you're in an RV. The amount of income that you need is substantially less. For example, I haven't paid an electric bill in 4 years. Don't have to. I don't have one. But I have electricity. I haven't paid a cable bill in 4 years. But I have kind of the same thing. I use a little thing called it's a box that you plug in, and it goes through the internet and blah blah blah. You guys have heard about it. And I will actually post a link below if you're interested in learning more about those boxes, because they're great for full-time RVers. You just need internet connection as well, which I have that too. So anyway, this guy that I worked with in this large company convinced me, and he was working for the company at the time, and him, his wife, and his 2 sons were full-time RVers. And I was like, you're kidding. How can you do that? And he's like, I just work from home, right? Which I did too. And he said, so I don't need to be in an office, so I'm going to travel around the country with my wife and my kids. Excuse me. I'm not sorry that I did that. It happens. So I checked out his RV, and I was like, well, this is pretty cool, and, you know, tight living quarters, but so what, you know? And we were having morning coffee one day, and he said to me, what are you looking at? And I think it was like 4 in the morning, because we had an online meeting with Japan, or China. I think it was China, and we had to get up really early. And so him and I were talking before the meeting, kind of going over all the things that we have to talk about in the meeting, blah blah blah, lame business shit. So he says, what are you looking at? And I said, well, I'm standing in the kitchen like I do every morning when I have my coffee. I stand in the kitchen near the sink, looking out the front window, kind of waking up, looking at the yard. He says, what do you see? I said, well, I see my car in the driveway. I see the neighbors across the street. I see the street. I see telephone poles. I see my front yard. So he goes, let me send you a picture of what I see. And he sends me this picture of this awesome mountains, this great, and he goes, that's my morning view. And he took a picture, and when he took the picture, it was like one of these, you know, like the cup was there with a beautiful background. And I was like, damn. So I was like, I really, really want to do that. So he goes, and next week, he goes, I'll be overlooking the beach. I'll be at the beach. So I was like, man, I wish I could change my backyard as much as I change my mind. I'd love to be able to change my backyard with my mood. Every time my mood changes, I can change my backyard. If I feel like being in the mountains, I'm in the mountains. If I feel like being in a campground, I'm in a campground. If I feel like being that really crazy darkness of like being in a lot somewhere, I can do that too. I can do anything that I want to. It's such a huge freeing thing. So when I did it, I said, I'll put my stuff in storage. I'll rent the house. I'll sublet the house. I'll rent it out or whatever. He's like, you can't do it that way. That does not give you the full freeing feeling of minimizing your life and getting rid of things that do not fit in your RV. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what you think you need in your life. Your life can fit in an RV. Absolutely. The things that you need can fit in an RV. Let me tell you. So before I did it, I lived in a house. I bought the RV. So this is what happened. I bought the RV and I started looking around my house. And I remember I was sitting there and I'm like, sitting on my couch, and I'm 1.5 miles away from the TV because I had a huge living room, and I'm looking at this big screen TV up on the wall, and I'm looking at the floor space all down in between, and I'm like, what am I doing with all this floor space? I know what I'm doing. I'm paying for it. For what? So when people come in, they go, wow, this is a big room. And so what? The point is that why do I need all that extra floor space? Am I having a dance party? Not having a dance party. Never had a dance party. Not gonna have a dance party. Don't need all that extra floor space. Now, in fact, if I want to have a dance party, I can have it outside where it's nice out. So the thing is this. I started looking around my house and going, well, what do I need in here that I would have to put into my RV? So I started looking at, again, it was 5 bedrooms. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, I think. Yeah, 3 baths, and extra rooms around the house. So here's the rooms that I used. I used my living room, I used my kitchen, I used my bathroom, I used my bedroom, and I used my recording studio. Those are the 5 spaces I used in that house. And let me tell you, there was probably, I think it was 11 rooms or 12 rooms and I never used anything else. So I was like, okay, so I started working on putting the RV together. One of the first things was, I came into the RV and I'm like, let's see, I got a living room space, check. I got a kitchen space, check. I got a bathroom space, check. I got a bedroom space, check. I need a recording studio, and I've got the same 5 spaces that I used in my house, in my RV. So I pulled out the dining table. I'll show you this. And then I put this table in, and this is my recording studio here. Okay, this is my recording studio, and I'll do a show on that at another time. Like what I use to record, blah blah blah. So, granted, it's a smaller space. As you can see, I'm sitting at my recording studio desk, and my stove is right here. Not a big deal. When I push this chair in, my walkway is open. Do I need as big a space? Yeah, sometimes I go, hey, it's a little tight in here. Not a big deal, because I go outside. So after I realized that I could put my 5 living spaces that I actually used into, let me make sure my health is good, stream health is good, I decided that I would go ahead and do it. And I did it. I started this thing and I drove away and left everything else behind. I gave away everything that I owned. And trust me, it took me a long time to figure out what I needed in here. Like, I would load some stuff in. I had more shoes than any guy should ever have. I gave a lot of my stuff away. I sold a ton of stuff, like I had a garage full of big tools and, big toolboxes, and, I had everything. I had to get rid of all that. It's not going to all fit in here. I have a full set of tools in here, stored away in here, that when I need them, I flip open the hatch and there's my tools. I don't have an air compressor and all that stuff like I used to have in my garage, but I don't need it. I'm not doing that kind of work anymore. So it doesn't even matter. So I started this thing and I drove away. leaving everything else behind. In other words, when I drove away, I had every single thing in my life that I needed. And I'm talking about physical things. I'm not talking about people or anything like that, so don't get all upset and comment down there going, hey, ass, you didn't have your kids with you. Yeah, I know. My kids were grown before I did this. My kids are older. So I drove away, and what a sense of freedom came over me, because I'm traveling and I have my house with me. So wherever I stop, I turn around behind me and here's my house and all my stuff. What an amazing feeling that was, because I can be anywhere. So what I learned from full-time RVing is this. I found out who I am as a human being, because things didn't matter to me anymore. People mattered to me. Places mattered to me. Experiences mattered to me. Money, not so much anymore, because I have taken away that pressure of I've got to make $10,000 a month or I can't survive. I can't pay for my Cadillac Escalade. I can't pay for my big house. I can't pay for all this crap. I can't pay for my credit cards. I can't pay this $250 cable bill. I have to make X amount of dollars. Now, I don't have to make anything if I choose not to. I have my spot. Now, my life, the more money I make, the better my living conditions are. Like for right now, I'm in a campground. I've got electricity, I've got septic, I've got water, I've got cable. Yeah, and I don't pay a lot of money. So the thing is, it takes a lot of pressure off you, and it helps you define who you truly are as a human being. When I was living my life like that, working for a large corporation, making over $200,000 a year, I had to hang out with people that were that lifestyle. That was my option. Those are the people that came around. I didn't have friends that were maybe struggling and on disability coming over the house. I didn't have friends like that. And you know what? Shame on me, because what you make for money does not define you. What you are as a human being and how you treat others, that's what defines you, not your stuff. So for me, and I'm 50 years old, it took me a long time to realize that my stuff did not define me. Who I am as a human being and how I treat others, that's what defines me. That's what makes me a great human being. That's what makes me feel good and makes me sleep really good at night, because I know how I treat other people. And I'm going to tell you right now, whether you choose to live in an RV or a small home or anything like that, and minimize your life, it will help define who you are if that's what you need in your life. But I'm going to tell you, this is the most freeing thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I don't ever want to go back into a house. I don't want to. So I'm going to tell you this. When you define who you are, your friend base grows. You have a bunch of different type of people in your life. I have friends who are millionaires. I have friends that full-time travel in an RV. I have friends that live in a small van and travel. I've met people that are great people. I have friends that, you know, live in the back of their car. That's what they choose to do, or that's where they are in their life. I have friends from all walks of life. In other words, I didn't pop myself. I took myself out of that societal bubble that I was in. So that's why I live in an RV. And it's the happiest I've ever been in my life. When I tell you, there is nothing better and more freeing than finding out who you really are as a human being. It makes you truly happy. It makes you happy with who you are, and it makes for a better life. Listen, you guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to subscribe. There's a little, where is it? Yeah, I think, oh no, it's over here. I think it's, yeah, it's right there, I think. There's a little button. If you click that, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And tell your friends, because this is going to be one crazy journey. Watch what happens here. I promise you. I will talk to you guys later. Remember, the most important thing in your life is your happiness. Do more of what makes you happy and less of what makes you unhappy. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Here comes the finger of death.